All right, Sasha, how's it going? How you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. I appreciate you pulling up and hopping on the podcast. Welcome to episode 4. So, what have you been up to?
Um, just school, work, and the gym. Really, that's
I mean, yeah, obviously, gym. It's pretty crazy. I can pull in any photos too, so we can
Mhm.
kind of pull in real quick some of your photos, whichever ones you want. So,
Yeah.
right, what's your workout plan looking like right now?
So right now I'm kind of in like a maintaining phase. Maybe putting on a little bit of muscle for like a month. I just did a cut and I lost about 25 pounds.
Damn, that's crazy.
Um, since I started in January, and I didn't plan on doing a whole 6 month cut, but
Uh
I
huh.
mean, I was liking my results and everything, so I just went along with it.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm gonna maintain for a month, see if I can hit any PRs really on my compound lifts, and then in July I'm gonna do another little aggressive mini cut. So,
Okay. Okay. So what's like your diet looking like right now for you not cutting, you just kind of maintaining?
so I try and eat around 2,000 ish calories, maybe a little more. I kind of give myself room to
That's
splurge.
a lot, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Or no, that's not a lot, is it?
it's
I'm trying to think. How much is a Big Mac meal? But you can keep talking about your while I look this up.
So really, I just do it based off of like my
Oh. So a Big Mac has 563 calories. So you could eat 4 Big Macs a day.
if I really wanted to, yeah, but I don't think that'd be very
No, yeah,
optimal.
for sure. That just kind of helps me put it into
Into
the mind.
perspective, yeah.
How many Big Macs equal calories? Are you like managing everything with like calories, protein, and all that?
Yeah, I count my macros, but I try and not to be like very hard on myself depending
Okay.
on like oh, I didn't hit my goal for today. Oh, um it's really unless you're prepping for a show, you really don't need to be that strict on your diet in my opinion
No, yeah,
because
especially how often are you working out?
I work out like 6 days a week,
So
7
yeah,
days
I
if
mean,
I
you
feel.
can with how you work out. How often do you hit cardio?
I try and do at least 4 to 5 days a week of
Oh, then
cardio.
yeah, I mean, you can eat whatever the hell you want at that
Yeah.
point. Um, when you were cutting, what was your diet looking like? Was it a little more strict then?
It was a little bit more strict. I didn't let like if there were cookies at the house or something, I just like kind of had to be like, all right, we got to stay strict to this. Or if I did kind of splurge, I'm like, all right, well, we got to do 20 more minutes of cardio today.
Yeah, because that's really all it is. It's micromanaging, or not micro. It's fuck, what's the word called? It's you just have to burn more calories than you eat.
Yeah, calories in versus calories out for sure.
Yep. So what are you doing right now for? Um. Sorry, I didn't phrase that right. Like, where do you see yourself in like 5 years? Where all your fitness journey? Would your ultimate goal is to be a full time fitness influencer?
Um, I mean, I would like to do that, but I also want to focus on college too. Like,
Okay.
I'm kind of doing fitness influencing on the side just to give myself a hobby and like to show other people like my journey
Yeah, and
basically.
if it's something you're passionate about, go
Exactly.
for it. Who cares about anything? I mean,
Yeah.
seeing your videos always, I'm always like, nice. I
Yeah.
always like seeing one of your videos
Yeah, I appreciate that.
for sure. When did you start your fitness journey first?
So my dad got me into the gym about when I was in junior high, basically.
Yeah.
As soon as I turned 13, that's whenever the gym allowed like people to work out. Basically, that was the youngest age they could work out.
Uh huh.
Um, and he was like, "We'll get you a gym membership, and you can start then." So I kind of worked out. I didn't take it as seriously as I do now, for sure.
So that's where you started.
I started
Where did you
then.
start taking it like real seriously?
So right after graduation really is when I started taking it seriously. I kind of looked at myself and I was like, man, I don't really like the person I see in the mirror right now. Like I
And
was I
that's
was
a
pretty.
tough thing
Mhm.
to, because I can kind of relate to that in some aspects of my life, but
Yeah.
it's the opposite to where I've always been skinny and
Yeah.
I've always been like, God, I gotta put on muscle, and I don't necessarily think about that anymore.
Mhm.
But I can relate to some aspects of that, especially being like 18 and all that. And you're
Yeah.
like, oh, but the fact that you stuck to it,
For
and
for
I
this
mean, you're
long.
freaking jacked. It's pretty crazy. What's your bench PR right now? Do you know?
funny enough, today I actually went for a PR and I got 300. So
300 exactly?
yeah, 300. So that's 245s, a 35, and a 2.5.
That 300 pounds? How much does Lizzo weigh? You can't look up Lizzo's weight, not her weight loss. You probably benched Lizzo, dude. That's crazy.
Let's see.
You can't look up how much does Lizzo weigh? She's like
Dude,
500.
this freaking cancel culture, dude. Like
Yeah, for real.
censorship on everything.
202. You bench more than Lizzo. That's crazy.
Wait,
Does that make you feel good seeing Lizzo like that photo and knowing you can bench more than that?
yeah, for sure. Wait, that doesn't even seem right. 250? Like,
Yeah, she
I
might
don't.
wait. She might be a little more than
I
250.
like. Honestly, I'm trying not to be like very judgmental because like, you know, um,
Wow, I mean,
it's obviously not healthy.
She's a little chunky, so
It's obviously not that healthy, but at the same time, like, it's your life. You can do with what you want with
oh
it.
yeah, for sure. I feel what you're saying.
But yeah, just seeing that and seeing 250, that doesn't,
Yeah, I don't
in
know if
my
that
mind, it
correlates.
doesn't.
What
Doesn't
would you
seem
think?
right.
Like 350 maybe?
I'd say probably 280, 300 ish.
Yeah, around there, dude. 300 pounds. And was it just one rep you went?
Yeah, it was just one rep. Yeah,
Were you hyped after that?
I don't like get hyped like after PRs or anything like that. Like I definitely like feel accomplished and stuff like that. Like I'll have a smile on my face after I PR, but I'm not like those people who are like, "Let's go!" Like
Yeah.
those type of people, like those weight room junkies and those
But
go
does it
gym
make you
kids.
feel good, or is it kind of just not? It's just more kind of. It doesn't really mean that much.
No, it definitely makes me feel good because like seeing like that I could barely do 225 starting in like my junior year, I could barely do 225.
Yeah.
And then I was stuck at 225 for the longest time.
But 225 is still a shit ton of weight.
Oh yeah, that's like 5% of the
That's
gym
like more
community.
than what I could squat.
Yeah. But yeah, 5% of the gym community can barely do 225. So like when you put it in that perspective, it's definitely an impressive accomplishment, but you know, I try not to like think about it too much because you can definitely be stuck there and then you can be like, "Oh, well, I don't have anything left to accomplish." I'm always trying to improve to the next.
Now you're looking for 400.
Exactly.
What's your like squat PR right now?
So the most I've done on squat is 425.
God, that's crazy. When you start throwing around multiple 100 pounds, that's insane. That's like 3 of me, almost 4 of me. 425 for one rep.
Yeah, for one rep.
God, that's crazy. Do you want to compete in any like competitions, or is it more just a personal hobby kind of?
It started out as a hobby, but I really do want to do like a bodybuilding type competition within a year and a half.
Where would you do them at? They just have like local competitions.
They have them more in like San Antonio and Dallas area.
Okay.
And stuff like
And
that.
it's based off of performance and how much you bench, kind of, or
Well, it's just based off of weight and height and.
Okay. There's like different weight classes, kind of like UFC.
Yeah, kind of like so.
Okay.
This is bodybuilding, not powerlifting. So like.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what would be the difference, I guess? Because I was kind of thinking powerlifting.
Bodybuilding is basically like how shredded you can get, like Arnold, Sebum.
Oh, because you're just trying to look as. That's where you put on all the tanner.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. I know what you're talking about. No, yeah, for sure. That's sick. So your goal is to do that, like, try kind of this year.
Yeah. Probably this time next year is when I want to do my first amateur show.
Oh yeah, that'd be sick.
And then eventually, like my goal is, by the time I'm 30, I want to have my pro card. Like that's what everybody wants, which is like International Federation of Bodybuilding. You're the top of the top.
How do you earn that?
So first you do your amateur shows, and then you qualify for NPC. I don't know what NPC stands for bodybuilding.
I can look it up real quick.
yeah.
But keep talking while you're.
And then you qualify for like nationals, and then if you get top 2 in nationals, then you're
The National Physique Committee.
okay.
That's
Gotcha.
such a funny name, dude. Physique Committee. So you have to be top 2 to make it in?
Top 2 in nationals. So
Okay.
this isn't NPC. So you do your NPC show and then you do nationals.
Okay.
And then if you're top 2 nationals, I believe you get your pro card. I
Nice.
could be wrong, but that's
I mean, there ain't that many facts on this podcast. You're good, bro. What besides weightlifting? What other like hobbies or something you're passionate about, kind of right now you got going on?
I've started to collect some vinyl,
Okay,
some records.
nice.
Um,
What have
right
you been listening to lately?
right now I'm listening to a lot of Baby Keem.
Okay,
Um,
newer stuff, kind of.
yeah, a little bit. Tame Impala too. I've listened to TV Girl. I don't know if you listen to them, but
TV Girl. I've never heard of TV Girl. What kind of music are they?
they're like Tame Impala basically. So like if you listen to them, they're kind of like that.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I haven't heard of them. I kind of lately I've just been listening to older music,
Yeah.
like way older, like '70s rock, kind of. Or I
Okay.
don't know. AC/DC is what I've been listening to a lot
So
of.
more like 80s.
Yeah. Um. But yeah, that's cool. So I saw you had posted this. This is another thing I want to talk about. How do you feel about Josh Allen being on the cover of Madden?
I think there were other people who could have been on there. I'm a Bills fan, but
You feel like he didn't necessarily deserve it?
not. I wouldn't say deserve it, but I feel like there were better candidates in my opinion. I feel like Justin Jefferson probably should have been on it.
Yeah, I
In my
agree.
opinion,
That is crazy. I wonder if they have the final rankings. Um, Josh Allen was due time though. He's gonna get it eventually. I am surprised Burrow. I
yeah.
would have thought
I
Burrow would
wish
have gotten
Burrow
it.
would have made it too. Honestly,
Sad. Joe Burrow was one of them. Justin Jefferson, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, OU alumni, Trevor Lawrence. So yeah, that is crazy that Justin Jefferson didn't get it. I would have thought he would have gotten it by now.
because they usually don't go for quarterbacks. If I'm not like mistaken, they usually do like skill player
They
positions.
do a little bit of both, kind of, but there's not that many quarterbacks. Calvin Johnson, Barry Sanders, Payne Hillis.
Oh, let's not talk about the Peyton Hillis cover.
Yeah, that's crazy that that dude snuck onto the cover. Peyton Hillis snuck on the cover. Do you think the Bills are gonna? Do you think they're Super Bowl bound this season?
I think if Von Miller can stay healthy and that's at the end of the day, that's kind of what stopped them from making it, in my opinion.
Who'd they lose to in the last game? The Bengals.
The Bengals, yeah,
They just got smacked by the Bengals.
yeah. Josh
was not
Allen
a
was
good
making
game.
bad throws and everything. It was kind of surprising me, honestly.
Hey, Josh Allen though got a W this offseason. Did
Yeah,
you see he's gone on dates with Haley Steinfeld?
I didn't see that. No.
He's been going on dates with Haley Steinfeld, dude. And that's just crazy. If only I could spell.
Yeah, man. I'm a Bills fan, but I'll also like.
Yeah, they've been seen together multiple times on dates and stuff.
Man, yeah, I didn't. I thought he was already dating someone. Honestly,
Yeah, they broke up, and then like a week later, he was out with Haley Steinfeld.
Wow, city boys up, I guess.
No, for real. I mean, if your girl's gonna break up with you, I mean that's one of the best females.
That's the
you
best
probably hit
rebounds
up.
you can get, I guess.
No, I agree. Sorry, you're saying what?
I'm a Bills fan, but man, we just we tend to choke all the time. It seems like.
Yeah, I mean, I root for the Bills every freaking season when they make it deep in the run. Josh Allen will get a ring eventually, but I feel like he'll kind of be the Peyton Manning, the Patrick Mahomes, Brady.
Okay.
Just barely sneak in there every
Yeah.
once in a while over these next few years. But with Joe Burrow coming up, I don't know, because Joe Burrow could become the
There's
Peyton
just
Manning.
a lot of competition in the AFC when it comes to quarterbacks, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure, because you got Herbert too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those guys are top 5. Those 4. Those 3, sorry.
Yeah, because Hurts is in the NFC.
Yeah, and then you got Hurts, and then you could probably sneak in. I don't even know who would make the other top 5. So what would be your Super Bowl pick right now if you had to pick? Like if you had to put $1 million on it.
You can't go wrong with Mahomes.
Yeah, that's always a good pick.
So I think out of the AFC, every time I bet against Mahomes, it seems like
Yeah, you never bet.
I'm just shooting myself in the foot. So,
Yeah, I feel you.
Mahomes or the Chiefs for sure, and in the NFC, man, who are like contenders in there? Because it's the Eagles for sure.
The Eagles, and then they played. Who did they play in the AFC Championship? I can't remember. Because they smacked them, I think. Oh, the 49ers. Which the 49ers could rebound this year.
Yeah, the 49ers are a sleeper team to me, in my opinion. Like,
They are. If Brock Purdy didn't get hurt that game, who knows what would have happened?
yeah.
They were playing with Brock Purdy didn't throw one pass all game, and that game pissed me off. They should have just let Christian McCaffrey sling it at that point instead of running read option every play.
Yeah.
Let him sling it, or just run read option with like Debo and Christian McCaffrey every play.
I mean, it worked last year whenever they did that, so I don't see why they wouldn't have done it then.
Yeah,
But
the Vikings maybe could come back.
I don't know about the Vikings. It seemed.
Oh, they released Dalvin Cook. Did you see that?
I did see that. That was surprising because he just came off of a Pro Bowl year.
Yeah, maybe he was asking for too much money or something. That's always a possibility these days.
Yeah, especially with running backs because it seems like you have maybe like a 5-year, 7-year at most, like prime, if that makes sense.
No, yeah, for sure. I wonder if they're just going to rock with Alexander Madison or if they drafted somebody. I honestly don't know. I just saw that today and I was like, wow, that's. Dalvin Cook's a good running back to release.
Yeah, I don't know. There's DeAndre Hopkins too, and
He still hasn't signed nowhere. I've seen a bunch of Ravens talk for him. I've seen a little bit of Cowboys talk.
I heard like this isn't me being biased, but I heard the Bills are like one of his top teams for sure.
Yeah, he said
he wants
he
to
said
go
he would
to.
love to play with Josh Allen. I did see that video.
I just don't know like
Him
if
that pissed Diggs off. I feel.
I was
like.
gonna say I don't know if Diggs would like that because that's how it was with Adam Thielen, and then that's kind of why he left, right?
Yeah, and Diggs already is he was kind of being a baby in that AFC Championship. I love
Mhm.
Diggs; he's a beast player.
Yeah.
But when your team's losing, it's snowing, and your quarterback's having a shitty game, you don't need to be sitting over there barking at one of the best quarterbacks in the league to
Yeah.
throw you the ball. Because that can get in his head even more and ruin it. Yeah. So it says I see Ravens, I see Packers.
Packers, I don't know if he would want to work with a first-year quarterback.
Yeah, Jordan Love for no reason.
Yeah.
Unless they paid him a lot of money, who knows?
I
It'll
don't
be
know. And
interesting.
he's kind of on the.
Oh,
I love
so-
I love D Hop, but he's kind of at the downfall of his career. If that like
Yeah, he's out of his time for sure.
historically, if we're speaking like past 30, you don't really make it that far as a
Yeah,
as a wide
dude, I
receiver.
had him in fantasy this year. It was so frustrating.
Well, he was suspended for what 6 games?
I mean, one game he would drop 30,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, I'm gonna start him. Next game, drop like 4, and you're like, can't
Yeah.
bench him. Starts plays for 30, and you're like, hey,
Yeah.
I'll start him. Goes for 4. You're like, I don't care. He always does this. Goes for 4 again. I'm like, fuck him. I'm dropping him. Drops him. Somebody else picks him up. He drops 33 games in a row,
Yeah.
and then beats me.
So how you doing in your in the fantasy baseball league that we're in?
That's so funny. I haven't even checked it. I haven't checked it once, dude. Fuck. I wonder how I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm probably last.
DeGrom was my second pick, and he's out for the year.
Who was?
Jacob DeGrom.
Who's that? I don't watch no baseball, honestly. I just
Dude,
went to a Rangers game recently.
DeGrom.
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 Okay.
He used to play for the Mets. And then the
Oh,
Rangers.
he's a pitcher?
Yeah.
So are pitchers worth more in fantasy? Do you kind of know how
Yeah.
fantasy works for that?
So this is my first year playing fantasy baseball too. So
Okay.
I'm still trying to learn it. But it seems like pitchers kind of earn the more points for you.
Okay.
From what I've seen, like if your pitcher has a really good game, it's usually like 20 points per game.
Oh,
It seems like. And then
Especially if you have a pitcher who bats.
like
Who-
I have Otani too.
Is that the dude on the cart or the
Angels?
The Angels,
Yeah.
the Asian guy.
Yeah.
He's like the best player right now, huh?
Yeah, he's I think he's top MVP candidate, which doesn't surprise me. I'm an Astros fan and I want Jordan to win MVP, but if you have Otani in the same division or same league as you, and they're in the same division now that I think about it.
Yeah.
But if you have Otani in the same league as you, then it's really hard to win MVP.
Yeah, for sure.
But
Because that guy's striking dudes out and hitting home runs. It's crazy. Like we've never really seen that before in a while.
yeah, he's in talks right now to like leave the Angels after this year though.
I thought you were gonna say leave the MLB, like go to some Chinese league. I was like,
No.
wow.
No,
Where
he,
do you know where he'll go?
I've heard some Dodgers. I've heard the Mets.
The Mets is a money team. They'll throw some cash for him for
Yeah,
sure.
they don't care about the luxury tax at all. for
No,
some
not at all.
reason.
They'll throw a bag. The Mets have always been like that.
Yeah,
They did that for
for Verlander
yeah, they threw that
Mhm.
fat bag for real.
and Scherzer.
I haven't watched baseball in years.
It's slowly on the come up in my opinion. He like I've started to like watching baseball a whole lot more than I'm an Astros fan. So when your team's doing good, it's a lot easier to
What happened to
watch.
Carlos Correa? Where is he at?
He's on the Minnesota Twins.
Okay, because I remember
Yeah.
I watched the Astros game. I was like, where the hell is Carlos Correa?
Yeah,
I didn't know he left.
he was wanting a long-term deal, like a 10-year
Yeah.
contract, like locked in for the rest of his career. And I guess our GM at the time, he doesn't like he's known for not making like
Long-term deals?
long-term deals. Yeah,
Yeah.
like max is 7 maybe.
Yeah, for sure.
And he just wouldn't give him that kind of a deal. Which luckily enough, we have Jeremy Pena now, and he just won a Gold Glove, so he's the best, statistically the best shortstop in the American League, and from a defensive standpoint.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, so it's like really didn't hurt us too much, obviously, because he just won
The
World
Astros will
Series
always be in.
MVP.
The Astros will always be in there every freaking year. They've been so good these past 10 years or so,
Yeah,
competing every year. Did they get that ring taken away from them?
luckily no, because
They didn't.
I mean, if they had it taken away from them, then the MLB would have had to investigate like every single team.
Which I don't get that, because wasn't it they figured out the other team's pitch signals?
Yeah, so
If your coach is that dumb to where you can get your pitch signals figured out, shouldn't the other team be able to use that to their advantage? I played travel baseball for years,
Mhm.
and our coach would be like, guys, look at me and I'll tell y'all what he's throwing, because I
Yeah.
figured out his pitch count. Because the coach is showing 3 pitch signals, and it's not hard to figure out what's a curve of fastball.
yeah,
So our coach would figure that out and tell us. It's using be smarter and
well, the reason why like that has always been a part of baseball. Like if there's a runner on second and they can read the catcher's signs, they'll let the batter know. Like
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
always been a part of baseball. The reason why the Astros got so much slander from it because they did it using electronics. So they had a camera in center field.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So
So it wasn't
Was-
like just some coach figured it out. It was kind of. Who were they
Yeah.
playing in that World Series? Do you remember?
the Dodgers.
Oh yeah, and so I mean, Kershaw. That's doing it against Kershaw, one of the best in
Ye-
the league. So who knows how that series goes?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, there were other teams doing it too.
Yeah.
Like when I say that, there weren't teams like doing it like on second base. Like there were literally other teams using electronic,
The same kind of
the
camera.
same system basically. There was a player. His name is Carlos Beltran. He played for the Mets, I believe, before he went to the Astros, and he was like, "Hey, they're figuring out the system. Y'all are kind of behind."
Uh-huh.
And so the Astros picked it up, and since the Astros are a small market team, they got slandered from it because for it. If you're a big market team like the Yankees or the Dodgers or a team that brings in a lot of money for the MLB that has a very high, like a very big fan base, like it's just not going to go well for you, in my opinion. Like
Yeah.
they'd rather pick on a small market team than
Yeah, I get what you're kind of saying because
Yeah.
the Dodgers and the Yankees are gonna be able to fight against it. I wanted to show you something really freaking funny, and then see your reaction to this. Sorry, 1 second, can't figure it out.
Oh man.
This old
The
school
good old
photo
days.
of us, dude.
The glasses and everything, man.
The
Remember,
7th grade basketball
dude?
days.
Remember when we tied with the team 8-8?
I tell that story all the time. We tied a team 8-8, final score of a game. 8-8. That's how shitty we were.
Yeah, we were an awful team. Like it
was
was.
was Coach Falcone our coach that year?
Yeah, we didn't win a single game.
Hey, we were good that next year. We competed that next year.
Yeah.
Man, basketball
man.
is such a fun sport. Do you still have the same passion for basketball you used to, or you kind of lost it a little bit?
So my senior year of high school, like I didn't make the basketball team, and that's kind of when I learned about like, or not learned, but like getting into more of like weightlifting
Yeah.
and powerlifting and stuff like that. So I made the powerlifting team my senior year, and then I went to regionals that year too.
Nice.
So,
Going from not making the basketball team to being in regionals, you're like, fuck basketball, dude.
yeah, I was just kind of like, I was like, man, maybe I should have just done powerlifting a whole lot like a long time ago. But I mean,
Yeah, God puts those weird, like, you maybe if you look back on it, you're like, if you would have made the basketball team, maybe you wouldn't be where you're at now. Everything kind of happens for a reason, and that's kind of, you can't let stuff like that bother you. I'm not saying you did let it bother you, but
oh yeah, no, for sure. I don't regret basketball at all. I made a whole bunch of friends, made a lot of memories that I don't regret either. So I
yeah,
mean, learned some lessons along the way too. So everything you just got to kind of look at it in the bigger picture, if that makes sense. Like, yeah,
yeah,
I
for
didn't
sure,
make the team, but it also opened another door. So,
for sure, for sure. Sometimes I wish I stuck to basketball a little more because I wasn't ever too good, but basketball was my third sport.
hmm
So I cared about football so much, and then
yeah,
when I wasn't playing football, I was playing basketball. When I wasn't playing basketball, I was playing baseball.
yeah,
Or sorry, when I wasn't playing baseball, I was playing basketball.
yeah,
And I played on a few double A teams. I was like the shitty six man, coming in
yeah.
and breaking a three every once in a while.
hmm
But I was always good at defense. I think the game we fucking were 8-8. I think I missed like 30 breakaway layups that game because I got like 30 steals and missed every. Dude, that was so embarrassing. Just getting a steal and just throwing it off the top of the backboard. Oh my
Yeah, no.
god.
My freshman year of high school, I was on the team and I shot a 3-pointer over the back.
Oh, dude,
That it was
was
pretty
it was it
embarrassing.
a home game?
Yes.
Oh, that sucks, dude. That sucks.
Yeah.
Well, I got crossed by Felton one year, so that was pretty shitty.
Oh,
I don't know
I,
if you remember
I
that.
remember that. But wasn't it like the floor was slippery too, right? Or
Well, the
something
floor
like
was
that?
slippery, and it was kind of those deals, like, where you look like you got crossed and you didn't.
Yeah.
Like, I was this close to getting a steal, and
Yeah.
I would have gotten the steal, but since I went for the steal and he did it behind the back,
It's just the right move at the right time.
and then he
basically.
just happened to bank a fucking three
Yeah.
at Goddard, our rivals.
Yeah.
Dude, that same game I pulled it from half court too. I remember our coach was pissed because we were losing so bad. I was like, "F it, dude. I'm just gonna pull it from half court,"
Yeah.
and I almost made it. I wonder if I would have made that. That would have been so cool. Do you still talk to Anthony at all?
Here and there, like it kind of sucks, but like I've fallen off with a lot of people I've talked to.
That's just how it works.
I mean,
bro.
it's life, but I mean, it does suck sometimes because I'm like, man, I wish I would have stayed in contact with these people.
Yeah, for
But-
sure. And sometimes you might blame yourself for it, and you're like, but sometimes it's just stuff you can't control.
Yeah.
And other people could reach out to you too at the same
Exactly.
time, just as much as you could reach out to someone. And I'm not saying that's where like you should never reach out to somebody, but
The
if-
phone works both ways, basically.
yeah, the phone works both ways 100%, and it always feels good to get like a text from somebody, So
Yeah.
um, I forgot to ask this earlier when we were talking about your diet. Are you taking any supplements or anything currently?
So I'm just taking protein to get because it's hard to get 200 grams of protein with just
Dude,
chicken.
That's
beef.
probably like damn near impossible.
Yeah. So I'm getting 50 grams of protein just from protein powder, and then
Okay.
I take creatine as well.
You have to drink a shitload of water, huh?
Yeah. So I drink about almost a gallon a day. I try and stay hydrated throughout the day. Also, creatine does not make you go bald. Doesn't affect.
Oh,
your
I didn't know
kidneys
that
or
was a
anything.
thing. That's
it's
a thing?
It's a huge myth
Well,
that everybody.
it
thinks.
would affect your kidneys if you're not going to drink the proper amount of water you're
Right.
going to drink.
Exactly.
But that's because of dehydration. That's not because of creatine.
Exactly. But
So-
most people don't.
That's
think of
crazy.
it
I didn't know
way.
that was a thing that people say you go bald with creatine.
Yeah, it's.
That's hilarious. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was a thing
I
at
don't.
all.
I think it's just people who like have balding regularly within their family who think that.
Yeah, they're just blaming creatine.
Yeah.
Does creatine cause hair loss?
See, that's the first
crazy.
thing that pops up.
As it says above, creatine supplementation does not directly lead to hair loss, but if you're experiencing hair loss, you should make an appointment with your doctor. That's hilarious. I never knew. Yeah, people just have hair loss in their family and they're making an excuse.
Oh yeah. But yeah, those are the two things I'm taking right now.
You haven't looked into taking any of the, I wouldn't say more extreme stuff, but the more extreme stuff that's still healthy. Kind of the, not, I almost said HRT, but that's completely opposite. That's what transgenders take.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I hope you're not taking HRT. for
No,
weightlifting.
I'm good.
But like testosterone, I think people would take testosterone. You never.
Oh yeah. No.
Is that kind of bad? I've never really.
So, when you're like from age 18 to like 27, your testosterone is going to be the highest it's ever going to be.
Yeah.
So you don't need to pin testosterone into your butt cheek because like
Because you want to get bigger.
yeah.
What's another thing you see people taking commonly in the gym? Because you're in the gym community a lot more than I am, so you'll know. What do you see people taking that you're like, oh, I wish some people wouldn't take that?
One thing that I don't like swear against it, but I think it's kind of pointless is BCAAs, which is branched chain amino acids.
Okay.
Basically, if you don't know what an amino acid is, amino acids are just like the smallest form of a protein that you can have. Like it's amino acid makes up protein, basically.
Okay.
So if you're getting your protein intake in, you don't need amino acids.
Okay, so it's kind of just a supplement for people who's not getting enough protein in, kind of, is what it's supposed to be meant for?
It's supposed to increase muscle, like protein synthesis, basically, and help you build muscle faster. But like, if you get your protein in, you don't need to take it. That's...
Okay. So yeah, oh yeah, so I saw you posted too about the new Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
How'd you like it?
Dude, that movie made me cry like 3 times.
It was good, dude.
Yeah.
It was real freaking good. I said this on a podcast with Mason. I told him the part that got me. I didn't cry the whole movie, but where she told Rocket, she was like, "It's been your story all along."
Yeah.
Dude, I fucking shed a tear. I was like, "Damn it, that's what got me right there."
So when he shot the otters, whenever I cried,
Like when she died?
yeah.
Okay.
What was
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. What was another part? Like, whenever I thought he was about to die, too.
Like when they were putting the stuff in him.
Yeah. Like whenever it was kind of towards the end. Like whenever he was talking to her and like he was like, "Oh, I'm ready to go with y'all." This and that.
Oh.
That part, yeah. That got me. I was like, "No, he can't die." I was like, "What?"
That was the best Marvel movie we've seen in a while, for sure.
Phase 4, other than Spider-Man Far From Home.
It was a better movie.
Or No Way Home, sorry.
Spider-Man No Way Home has more fan service. It means more to fans.
Mm-hmm.
Guardians of the Galaxy was a better movie. I don't think you can argue against it.
Yeah.
I like No Way Home more because I'm a Spider-Man fan more than a Guardians fan. But, dude, that movie, the No Sleep Till Brooklyn fight.
Oh, dude.
And that's one of my favorite songs of all time.
Yeah, I love the Beastie Boys. So.
It was so freaking... I love the Beastie Boys. Have you seen the new Spider-Man, the Across the Spider-Verse yet?
I have not. I'm planning on seeing it tomorrow, but just been kind of busy.
Yeah,
so.
who knows?
Yeah.
You should go see it. It was pretty good. Some people are overrating it and some people are hating on it.
Yeah.
So I'd be interesting to see what you said. For anybody who's watching who's seen it, I fucking loved it. I thought it was a great movie. I'd recommend going and seeing it 100%. So why does UT suck so bad?
That's very...
And, like, why are you a Longhorns fan? Because that just is a terrible life decision.
So, look, if you look at any other sport other than football, UT is excelling, in my opinion.
Didn't they just win, like, the World Series or something in college, or was that Tech?
They made the finals for it. They just lost. Like, they made the finals for 63 to 50.
I was trying to look to see if they had like in every sport, if you would compare OU versus Texas every sport. I think Texas has not been as good in basketball in a long time, so I think you can't compare the two programs because they both had their Kevin Durant, Blake Griffin era, and that's all they ever really had in those programs. Football, I think you can't deny OU's been better these past few years, but Texas still beats us.
Yeah, Texas can go like 6-5, but one of those 6 wins is always going to be OU.
Dude, for sure. I don't know why y'all always. Did y'all beat us this year or no? Y'all did beat us this year.
Y'all didn't score a single.
Oh, 49. That was the worst game ever, and I'm talking shit about Texas. Fuck, you're right.
Yeah.
That game, dude. 63-50. So we're down 13 games right now.
Yeah.
I forgot. Hey, our quarterback got hurt, though. 49-0. I forgot about that. Was that a good day for you?
It was. I mean, I was at work, so like I was just kind of keeping up with the score, but I was looking at it, because we had a lead like that a few games before that, like a few years before that, and I was like, oh,
Oh
we're
yeah,
up
where
at
we had that 20.
halftime.
Y'all had a 21-0 lead in the first quarter the year before.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't that one. It was a few years before that. I
Uh
think it
huh.
was when we had um, Sam Ellinger,
Okay.
and
Well,
we were up like a ton.
was
And
Sam
then
Ellinger a
like
rookie this year? So y'all still might have had him if it was.
it was his second year last year.
Oh, okay, okay.
But I can't remember for the life of me like what year that was. But we were up at halftime, and I was like, oh, we're gonna win this thing. We're gonna
And we
smoke
came
them.
back.
And y'all came back, and I think y'all beat us by a field goal or something like that, or y'all won in overtime.
Let's see if I can look at what you're talking about. I've never been to an OU versus Texas
Yeah,
game.
I think it's this first one right there. Yeah, I'd love to go, but man, like those tickets.
55-48. Oh yeah, so that
Yeah.
was not the year before when we had Caleb Williams. I was in Austin during that week.
Dang.
So dude, we were
Oh, it
walking around
was
with all our
a
friends.
depressing weekend in Austin for sure.
Oh
I
yeah, me and
bet.
Austin, I had went with Austin and we were walking around 6th Street and stuff. I was like, Boomer! Every time I saw like someone wearing and I was wearing my OU shirt.
Oh man, you're
So
asking
it's
for a death
so
wish,
good. Yeah, I
man.
was asking for a death wish. Man, dude, if Caleb Williams didn't leave us, who knows how good we'd be. We got fucked too. People don't give us our credit. Like we sucked this year, but we got royally fucked, dude.
Yeah, like
Lincoln
with
took
Lincoln just taking all of y'all's recruits like that, it's
it was very dirty. Like what he
Mhm.
did. Um, I don't blame him for leaving the program. They offered him a bag. They offered to buy his house in Oklahoma, where he keeps the money, and buy him a house in California.
Oh
So
my
they're like,
god.
"We'll pay off your house. You get the money for your house, and we'll buy you a mansion in California." And they offered him one of the biggest coaching contracts of all time. And they're like, "And you can bring your starting quarterback, and he can start, and Mario Williams." Don't blame him for that, but you're just gonna snake all the recruits, and it looked like he was recruiting for USC at OU
Oh really?
that last year. It really did look like it. I think I wish I could. I wish I would have thought about this before because there was a whole article I read one time where it looked like he planned everything kind of in
Yeah.
advance.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what Sark is doing right now. It's obviously hard to get it's hard to get recruits from Bama to go to Texas because you still have like Saban over there in Alabama.
Wait, is
But
that who y'all new head coach is? Was he the OC at?
hmm yeah. And
Oh,
then
nice,
we just
nice.
we got Quinn Ewers. I still hope like
You think he'll
if
start?
he already made the decision that Quinn is starting. Like after their spring game, he was like Quinn is
Okay.
our starter.
Did you see how Arch looked? Did he look good?
I think he's got like one growing year. You know what I mean? Just one
Yeah.
year to like.
You think Quentin Ewers will maybe go off this year and go pro? Hopefully, would be best case scenario.
Um, honestly, like it really just depends on the type of year he has. In my opinion, like
True.
if he has a breakout year, then
He did so good, but he's so inconsistent.
well. Up until that Bama game, he was great. He was like looking like a Heisman candidate.
For sure.
We had like one loss, I think.
Man, yeah, y'all were looking good up to that point.
We were looking like a playoff team and everything, and then he got hurt, just like the Colt McCoy situation. I don't even want to talk about the Colt McCoy situation because that still pisses me off. And I was like,
Yeah, Colt McCoy
This
was
little-
never a Sam Bradford. So.
well, he got hurt in the national championship though.
Oh yeah, that sucks. But that was him being a bitch, is right? Kinda.
No, I think he like dislocated his shoulder or something like that.
I think
And
some people
it,
said, like, his-
ruined his career.
Colt McCoy injury national.
Yeah, because he just wasn't the same after that.
Who did y'all play? Do you remember?
It was
Bama?
Bama.
Y'all played Bama in the Natty? How do I not remember that?
It was in 06, I
See,
believe.
Why is
06,
my Google
08
so
maybe?
trash right now?
But yeah, like everyone was making jokes like, "Oh, Bama's injuring our starting QB again," and like, yeah, it sucks, but that's
Alright.
kind of what it looks like.
Turn it down a little bit. Let's see.
Now the option look, and Colt McCoy
If he got hurt off of that, that's some baby shit.
Well, no, I think he like
pushed back.
Okay, no, that wasn't the hit. I was about to say. I was about to
No.
say, dude, if that was a hit. Was that Mac Brown?
Yeah.
This was the Mac Brown days.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't that hit.
No, he got sacked, I believe, is what it was. And then,
Oh, that was the hit. That's what I'm saying. Some people think he was being a little baby about it.
hang on, go back and show it because that.
Even in the instant replay, it didn't look like he hit his shoulder too much.
Maybe it wasn't his shoulder. Maybe I don't know.
That's
Helmet
his
going
right
in
shoulder. That's his right shoulder. So if you dislocate your right shoulder, you're done. So I'll give
Yeah.
him that.
Helmet-
Look, Marquise Goodwin right there.
Yeah, that was a good team. I still have my I don't think he was on that team. I could be wrong. Like I haven't really
Gilbert.
paid attention too much, but I still have like my crap. Who am I thinking of? 25. He was a running back for you.
Jamal Charles?
Yes. Yeah.
I think Jamal Charles was around that time, for sure. That was kind of when he fell in love with Texas football right there.
Yeah, around the Colt McCoy
are
era.
your parents Texas football fans?
They're not actually. It's the funny part. Like I just kind of turned on a game one time, and I was like,
And
"Oh,
you love them
UT,
ever
I
since
like
then?
them." Yeah,
How are your parents doing?
they're doing pretty good.
That's good. Tell your mom I said hi.
I will.
For sure. That's what my dad, too. My dad told me to tell you said hi.
Yeah.
My dad was like, I told him, I was like, yeah, I'm having Sasha on the podcast soon. He's like, nice. That dude got fucking huge. I see his Instagram.
Yeah, I see your dad at the gym every once in a while too.
Yeah, my dad's been hitting the gym. My dad's actually looked like pretty good, dude.
Yeah,
He lost his little beer belly.
it's always good, like seeing, in my opinion, like older people still having that.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
So
I see older people at the gym all the time.
like 60-year-olds who burn away. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, it inspires me for sure.
So when you wake up and you're not in the mood for the gym.
I just kind of go in. I'm like, man, I really don't want to go. Like, it's really easy to just not show up. But I mean, those are the days that like you're gonna appreciate later.
Yeah, do you have people you meet there too? Or do you work out by yourself usually?
I work out by myself just because like I stick to a specific training style. And
Okay.
not everyone might like agree with my training style. I try not to be on my phone too much. I try and just focus on my
Okay.
workout. Try and get like really good mind muscle connection and everything like throughout my workout.
Okay.
I'm really strict when it comes to my training just because I want to take it to the next level, obviously.
No, yeah,
So,
for sure.
it's nothing against the way people train. I love seeing people in the gym. I'll dap them up and everything, but like to me, like the pump, if I lose my pump, then it's hard to get it back.
So here's a good question. When people say you're pumped, does your pump mean when you lift those weights and your muscles are looking good? Is that what a pump means, or is a pump just a workout necessarily?
Basically, like when your muscles have the most blood in them and they're looking like super
That's
juicy
like the
when
peak of
you
your
have-
day, every day, kind of.
It sounds weird, but yeah, it does. Like it, yeah, it's like something I look forward to every day, basically.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. That makes 100% sense. Do you ever skip sometimes? Like you have days where you're just like,
If I absolutely can't make it, then that's the only time I skip. But like, there's days like I've come into town, like from a vacation, and that day I'll go and work out.
nice. That's the thing. I had hurt my rib
Mhm.
wrestling my brother. Well, I wrestled Jacob,
Uh-huh.
and Jacob put me in like a headlock and picked me up
Ooh.
and messed my side up. Then I wrestled my brother, and I was already hurt, and he like stepped on it with his like arm, and I either broke my rib or bruised it.
Mhm.
So I was running pretty frequently. I just can't. I hate going to the gym.
Mhm.
The environment stresses me out, kind of.
Yeah, no, I get that. for
If I
sure.
could go to a gym where it's just me, that's a whole different thing. Or if I have my own home gym, I'll
Yeah.
use it every day. But the gym kind of stresses me out.
No, yeah, you can definitely get overstimulated. I always try and go at a time that, if I can help it, I try and go at a time that like.
You mainly go
There's
to
no
Crunch,
other.
or do you go to any other gyms?
Yeah, I go to Crunch, just because it's cheap. And
Yeah, it
they
is real
have
cheap.
they have everything I need, so there's no reason to.
You
not.
worked at Crunch too.
I worked there for almost 2 years, and then I got a job at Complete Health, and it's a supplement store.
Oh,
so-
nice. That's cool. So you can kind of learn about supplements too.
Yeah, for
No, that's
sure.
pretty cool. How's working at Crunch? Is that something you enjoy doing?
It was fun. I love the people that I met there.
Yeah.
It was a good experience, but it's definitely like not for like everybody. I would say like because it's a lot. You have to deal with a bunch of members, and not all of them are happy. You'll have people who are like, "Oh, I got overcharged, this and that," and
That's
like,
that's at every job. What would be your like day-to-day task when you work there?
so when you first go in, you kind of gotta like check the bathroom, basically, make sure it's good. There's nothing like wrong.
No
with
crack
it.
in there or something?
Yeah, basically, just make sure it looks clean for everybody. Because if you walk in and there's a dirty bathroom,
That's gonna throw a lot of people off.
yeah, exactly. And then you just kind of walk around, pick up some like excess paper towels on the floor and around the gym.
Which, if you're gonna spray off the freaking seats,
At
throw
least
the
throw-
trash cans away.
yes.
The water bottle, leave it. If you leave the water bottle next to it,
Yeah,
that's not that annoying. But like dudes really like just throw the paper towels in there. That's so rude. Dude.
yeah, it's crazy. And then like, what else would you do? You just kind of got to make sure like the trash isn't overflowing with paper towels. So
Yeah.
you take out the trash.
So your job was more kind of just working with the customers at the front, kind of like you kind of sign people in was your job, and then
Yeah, so like
you made sure the place was clean as well.
yeah, all the front desk they'll deal with memberships, members, stuff like that, as
Okay.
well as maintaining the gym.
Yeah, I bet it was nice too. Right when you're off of work, you're like, 30 minutes real quick. I'm done for the day. I don't have to go back to the gym.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I would rather work out before my shift than after, because like you've been on your feet all day. So
You don't feel like work. You just feel like going home.
exactly.
Yeah, I feel you.
Or if I do work out, I try and take like an hour, hour and a half off, and then go. That way, my body's rested. Everything's good.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I gotta take a pisser real quick.
No,
and
you're
then-
good.
So, this is something I saw. Do you think LeBron's gonna retire?
So you've known me for a long time. I'm a huge Braun fan. Some would call me even like a Braun sexual.
LeBron sexual? Okay.
Yeah. But I don't think he's gonna retire. I think he just kind of said that to like get attention to himself. Really, I think he's got maybe.
He is a little bit of an attention whore.
Yeah. He's probably gonna play one more year. No, not one. One more year in LA, and he's probably gonna figure out what he wants to do after that. Either if he wants to sign like.
Wherever his son goes.
Yeah, either sign an extension or just wait to see where his son goes and then go.
Because
there
that'd be
as
so
well.
silly to retire 1 year before your son goes to the league.
Exactly.
Do you think LeBron's the GOAT?
In my opinion, yes, because you have to factor in other things other than championships. Because championships is a team.
But
effort.
what else would you factor in?
He's all-time points leader, all-time playoff points, all-time leader in the clutch. People say he doesn't have the clutch gene, but he.
This is how I'll kind of compare it. You have, like, Tom Brady's the greatest football player of all time.
Mhm,
He's not the best football player of all time.
mhm.
I kind of see it as that, where LeBron being the all-time leading points and all that. My God, dude, Jordan was so freaking dominant. And I used to think LeBron was the GOAT, and then the one dance documentary came out.
Yeah, it. Like, I'm not saying Jordan isn't the GOAT. Like, you can. It's more of like a 1A, 1B type situation.
Oh, I agree.
In
100%.
my opinion.
No, I agree 100%.
Like, I grew up watching LeBron. I didn't grow up watching Jordan. So
Yeah,
like
100%.
I can't know what Jordan
What greatness
played-
was like
yeah.
for Jordan?
exactly. And people like, do you know how hard it is to make the finals 8 straight years?
That is pretty crazy. But he won 3 of them.
Yeah, at the same
And
time,
he lost to Dirk Nowitzki by himself.
that one's the only one I'll hold against him, because
The Spurs losses make sense.
the Spurs
The first Cavs loss makes sense.
one, that one I don't hold against them, because look at it this way. D Wade was near the end of his career. Bosch was also hurt.
I won't even
so who
necessarily
else-
say that. That Spurs team was so dominant,
Mhm.
and it's kind of like, they're going to win the ring.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, I'm pretty sure LeBron was
The Heat
leading.
beat him once, right?
Yeah. So
The
they
Heat
won
beat
in
him once, the Spurs beat him
2013.
once. So
He-
it makes sense.
Yeah, he won in 2013 and then he lost in 2014. It would have been a three-peat if he.
The thing that bugs me with the LeBron debate kind of is LeBron has 4 rings, Curry has 4.
Mhm.
LeBron won 1 in the bubble.
Okay, but the bubble isn't something to take away from him, in my opinion, because
I don't know, dude. It's so hard to say because
it's just like
everybody competed in the bubble. Everybody wanted to win in the bubble. So I get what you're saying. But a bubble ring is not the same as a regular ring at the same time.
Well, like the
And
Lakers
he
were
played
still
so-
sec. The
he played
Lakers
so
were
shitty.
still second in their conference
True.
before the lockdown happened. So it's not like they snuck in. They
And
were still.
that was the
very
best
good.
Lakers team we've seen in a few years too.
In the LeBron era. It was the best Lakers team. Yeah.
They just, when they were down 3-0, I thought it was scripted that LeBron was going to come back. I was
Oh,
like, if he
yeah.
comes back, it's scripted. He played so shitty that game 4.
Well, no, he dropped like 40.
But this is what bugs
No,
me.
the games before that he played pretty bad.
He did do good. He had like 30 in the first half.
Yeah.
Right?
Hmm.
If Jordan's down by 2 with 3 minutes left, Jordan's give me that fucking ball. I'm gonna go score right now.
Yeah.
LeBron's older, so I get he's not as dominant as he used to be.
Mhm.
He was shooting too many threes.
I'll say that. Yeah, he.
He needs to drive in. He needs to look for. When he does that, no one can stop him. And he wasn't. He didn't have that drive in that game. It seemed to me.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of what bugs me is
He was also,
he doesn't
like-
want to win as bad as Jordan.
You also have to take into account he had like a sprained ankle since like.
Yeah, true. So maybe that's
Since,
why
like,
he was shooting more
April.
threes.
So he wasn't as dominant because he had a sprained ankle. So I think he's getting surgery over the off season for that, and he should be good to go. Like,
Do you
by
like the
start of
LeBron
season.
memes though? The LeBron memes are freaking funny.
Some of them are funny. Some of them they're just kind of overused in my opinion, and I'm like, okay, let's.
Well, like
move on.
him never reading a book's freaking funny.
Oh yeah, so that one's funny, and then like the one where he's like, "Oh, I already knew that."
Yeah,
He's like, "I already knew who's gonna be good before it happened." I was like, "Bro, you don't gotta prove anything."
that's
to
the one thing about
anybody, like-
LeBron too. You're a basketball player. You're not an activist.
Yeah.
He tries to be an activist a little too much, and I think don't quote me on this. Don't quote me on this at all. But I think he was speaking out after the George Floyd. I think he was
Mhm.
speaking out against police and black people, right?
Mhm,
Which makes sense after the George Floyd is something that a lot of black people speak on.
mhm.
Right after that press conference, he got a police escort.
Yeah, that's a little weird. Like, if you're,
It
Also-
might have not been right after, but it was within very soon. He was getting police escorts and talking down about the police.
Yeah.
Which is just so silly, which I get if you want to talk about, and that's something you. Well, LeBron just talks to talk sometimes, it feels like. Just if he just stuck to playing basketball, I think a lot more people would call him the GOAT for sure.
I'll say this: like, if you're gonna say LeBron should shut up and dribble, then like, if someone else speaks out and you agree with them, then you got to give them that same energy. You know what I mean? Like, I
Well,
understand.
but LeBron doesn't know what he's talking about. That's the only reason
No,
I'm saying
yeah,
it.
no.
If he
I
knew
get
what he
you're
was
saying.
talking about, like Kyrie usually doesn't know what he's talking about, but when he posted that anti-Semitic video that
Mhm.
that was speaking a lot true, and
Yeah.
then he gets canceled off of it. Obviously, Kyrie's so far out with the flat Earth, and flat Earth's such bullshit. But that's
I think
kind of
he's
different.
I think he's kind of dumbed down, and he said he doesn't believe that anymore.
Okay, good, because I don't know why anybody would believe flat Earth. That's the dumbest theory
Yeah.
I've ever freaking heard. But I get 100% if like kind of think Colin Kaepernick. The only reason like he does not know what the hell he's talking about. Did you see the video where you compared the NFL draft to slavery?
What?
You didn't see, dude. This video is crazy. This will blow your freaking mind.
Okay, that's you're getting paid millions of dollars for one. I'll just say that much right now. Oh,
Oh, okay, this is crazy, dude. I can't believe you haven't seen this.
slave auction. That's
Which one? Colin Kaepernick, you were good. You hit your peak early. Is it not going to show the? Okay, it is going to show the video. So look, these are like all the guys going to get drafted.
right.
From his new Netflix series, Colin in Black and White. Actors playing prospective NFL players who dramatically turn into
So he's comparing
headed to the auction
NFL draft prospects
Former
to
NFL
slaves
compares the league's
at
draft process to the
like getting
slave's
auctioned.
auction block.
in the sense of getting their measurements, doing all that.
You're
Well,
paid. You're
Paid
based
millions of dollars. Slaves weren't paid millions of dollars. So
off of. Well,
crazy.
but that's a deciding factor on if you get drafted or not. That's the thing. Like, if you're looking scrawny, a team doesn't want you. Obviously, like they were measuring out like their arms and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you're scrawny and you can't run that fast, a team doesn't want you. I'm sorry. Like,
Well, if a team's gonna invest millions of freaking dollars into you,
Mhm.
they should know every little thing about you.
exactly.
It's so silly, and he's just trying to keep his name in and keep getting a check, I think. And I don't know, dude. It's freaking like once I saw that video, I was like, this guy's a freaking dweeb.
I mean, I understand, I guess, like what he did in what was it, 2016. Like, I guess I kind
The
of
kneeling for the
understand.
national anthem.
I guess I kind of understand that, but at the same time, like, yeah, like you have your own free speech, but like you gotta deal with the criticism too.
Hundred
Like if
percent.
you're gonna do something, you gotta deal with the criticism. And I'm
Which
not saying he
the
didn't.
kneeling during the
but-
national anthem, I'm so 50-50 about, kind of,
Mhm.
because it's 100% people's choice, and I'm not black, so I can't at all say
Mhm.
what they, well, not what they want to do. That's not what I'm trying. Like they, but I mean, like,
You just can't be in their shoes, basically.
yeah, I can't be in their shoes 100%. So if it's something they feel like they truly are oppressed,
Mhm.
then go for it. And my senior year, I probably would have kneeled during the national anthem.
Yeah.
Just off of my beliefs and just where everything was at. But that's not what the national anthem is. It's a
Right.
respect to the people who
Mhm.
fight for us. So when you think about it that way, it's not an FU to Joe Biden and the government.
Right.
Which
Yeah.
it wasn't Joe Biden, it was Trump or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not an F. They don't care at all.
Yeah, they're still gonna be in office.
You're just gonna
either way.
piss off the soldiers who are fighting. Who's
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm not gonna freaking root for Colin Kaepernick anymore.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's so silly and it's so opinionated, and who really cares at the end of the day? I think people who it drives them crazy that Colin Kaepernick's gonna kneel during the national anthem. Who cares?
You just have like there's bigger things to
Yeah,
worry
100%.
about, like rather than a football player, like in their beliefs. Like that's like I just don't care like what anyone does anymore. Like at the end of the day, you just got to worry about like what you can control, and that's your mindset towards things.
Yeah, but once you start comparing the draft to slavery, I just want to.
Yeah, that's a little far. That's
It's
the-
extremely far. It's reaching for. You're trying to. Which here's the thing, there
I
are a
still
lot
can't
of
believe
racist NFL owners.
oh yeah,
which is a
for
big
sure.
problem.
Like the I'm not saying Jerry Jones is, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Well,
if he
his
was.
family comes from slave owners, I believe. Which you can't even knock anybody if their family came slave owners.
Exactly. Yeah,
you can't knock them, but
yeah.
there are a lot of racist NFL owners, and you saw that with the John Gruden stuff.
Yeah.
And John Gruden took a bullet for the Washington Redskins
Mm-hmm.
because apparently the Washington Redskins were going to go down in freaking flames.
Yeah, well, he had a bunch of emails. Like, should he have said? Should he have
Talk
said
about
that
not
in the
drafting
emails?
a dude because he's gay. But he'll
See-
want to get to the ball more.
What do you? Wait, what?
He likes balls. He wants
Oh
to get to the balls faster.
my.
And he had a gay player on his team, is what's crazy.
Yeah, that's just like him saying that, and then like he said some other racist stuff in his emails.
Oh,
right?
he said a bunch. Well, one of them, he just said a black dude has big lips or something.
See, like that, like
That's not that racist. If it's a white guy, he's a white guy. If he said this black guy has, or this, like, you can word it racist, but if you just say a black guy has big lips, if you say like Josh Norman has big lips, that's not racist.
But if you say a black guy,
A black guy
specifically-
named Josh
yeah.
Norman has big lips, a little racist.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm not saying like he shouldn't. Like, I'm not saying he shouldn't face any consequences for what he did. Like, we all have stuff in our past that eventually, like, it might be brought up again. Like, I'm not saying I'm perfect.
I got a little bit off topic talking about LeBron.
No, it's all good. I mean, he does run his mouth a little bit, and like some of the stuff he says, like he needs to do a little bit more research. But yeah,
and
I definitely
freaking
get it.
actually read a freaking book for one.
Yeah,
not
instead
just-
of being on the first page.
It is so funny how every photo of him with the book, he's not
Well,
on the
like
first
someone
page.
was asking him, was he reading like a book about Malcolm X or something like that? And he was like,
I think I know what you're talking. They kept asking him about it.
They were asking him like, well, what do you think about the book? He's like, I think he's a very inspirational guy. And I was like, it's like LeBron, you can say that about anybody. Like, kind of go in depth about what the book is talking about. Like, yeah.
Okay, I want to see the video, not some dude talking shit on LeBron. Oh my god. I don't know why my search. It's so bad, but I know the exact thing you're talking about.
Yeah, he was like he's a very inspirational guy, and I was like, LeBron, I can say that without reading the book.
Yeah,
That
100%.
Malcolm X was a very influential person,
Oh,
inspirational
100%. He was
person. Yeah,
very influential.
yeah. Um, but yeah, you kind of got to go more in depth if someone's asking you about the book specifically. But yeah,
And he's just like, yeah, I love this book. It's a great read. What's your favorite part about it?
all of
All of it. All of it. It's just a great read. So funny. But I think he does get a lot of hate, but he kind of brings it on to him, and he gets a lot of hate too because he's a good guy. You can't
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I mean,
you can't nash anything else he does.
he built a school for kids who are underprivileged. Like you can't really do better for your community than that.
Yeah,
And other than that, it's a very high quality school too. Like
yeah, for sure. I think he does get a lot of hate 100%, and it's all silly, but the memes are always freaking funny.
oh yeah,
Have you seen the memes on the Little Mermaid that came out?
I see like stuff like that. Like I could really care less about because like at the end of the day, it's not integral to the story. If that makes sense. Like whoever has the best part in it
Yeah,
should get
No,
it.
I agree 100%. And so many people, which I get. Before I say anything, I want to word this the right way.
Mm-hmm.
I get how it is so one way to where any black character can play a white character,
Mm-hmm.
but if a white character played a black character,
Yeah, I
it's
get what you're
deemed
saying.
very messed up. It's very one dimensional, and you can't think of any black characters that if a white guy played, people wouldn't be mad. But there's anybody, like
I just think like if you're like the Little Mermaid, for example, her race doesn't define the story at all.
100%.
It's literally just a mermaid. So
100%.
like whoever did best during the audition should
Which
get
that's
the
what I
part.
think. I saw that movie, dude,
Mm-hmm.
because Annie, he's a big Little Mermaid fan, right?
Okay.
And so she was right when it came out. She's like, "Can we please go see it?" It was right for her birthday.
Mhm.
So we went and saw it, and I'm watching it. I'm like, maybe they just casted this bitch because she's the best one.
Exactly. Like.
But it is Disney,
Mm-hmm.
which makes me kind of think Disney is they've been so woke, I guess is a good word.
No,
you
I
could
get what
say.
you're saying. Like
To where
they're more progressive.
they
than you
probably
would
did
like
do
them
it
to
on
be.
purpose, but I think just as much they did it on purpose. That girl is the most talented actress to go up for it. She freaking killed it.
That's like if you were to recap or if you were to do a live action depiction of like the Princess and the Frog, you would want that character to be black because she grew up in a community
Yeah.
that was black and stuff like that in Louisiana, and like her culture shaped that story basically.
Yeah.
Her culture in The Little Mermaid doesn't shape the story.
100%.
So-
No, yeah, I get what you're saying 100%. So yeah, I guess there are a few white characters that, Magneto, you probably never make black because he was in concentration camps.
Exactly.
Which there
You
was
would-
probably black people in concentration, but he was a Jew in
exactly.
concentration
You'd
camp.
want him to be portrayed as your
Bam,
typical.
there's
Jew.
one. I was trying to think
Yeah.
about that so hard. I was like, I wonder if there is, because I wouldn't care honestly. Like, I think anybody who cares, they're just trying to make it. But the memes are so freaking funny, dude.
Yeah, like I'm
But
trying to think.
there's a meme where she's like laying over him on the beach,
Uh-huh.
and she just grabs his wallet and takes off.
Oh, that's so bad. That's awful. Like,
Dude, I was dying laughing when I saw it. It's so messed up.
oh man, that's crazy. Wow.
So funny. I love that shit. It's so funny. I think anybody can appreciate that joke.
No, yeah, it's funny, but at the same time, I'm just like, wow.
I think it's funny if you're gonna joke about it, but there were people I know who were
Mhm.
actually offended, and were like,
Yeah,
or
I have
there's
to-
people online who are like, I'm not gonna go see the movie.
yeah,
Who freaking cares? Like,
Yeah, I
who
know.
cares? That's so silly. So freaking silly.
yeah. My brother was trying to make a joke about it. He was like, "Did you see they made Little Mermaid black?" And I was like, maybe she got the best role. I was like, maybe it's just not always about
That
race.
girl's
Like,
talented. She
Yeah.
really is talented. Oh, Dimitri.
Yeah.
How
he's-
tall is Dimitri now?
Ah,
4'5".
not that short now. He's above 5 feet, but I don't know.
He's
for
still
sure.
pretty short.
He's fairly short. Yeah.
How old is he?
He's 16, so he just got his license.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, it's
Oh my god, Dimitri's 16. We're old.
yeah. I'm getting old. I feel like, but at the same time, I'm super young.
Yeah, we are. So I feel the same way. I'm like, I'm old, but I'm not even 21 yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I'm gonna be 21 this year. That's freaking crazy.
Yeah, I still got 9 months till I'm 21.
Your
So
birthday in
March.
February? Yeah, I was about to say. I knew your birthday was in March just because of all the birthday parties every year.
Yeah,
That was like the
exactly.
best part of the
Oh
year when
man,
March would roll around.
y'all would trash my house. I'm not gonna lie. Like I remember one year
The
like y'all.
mustard.
I remember one year y'all like got all my baseball cards out and y'all just kind of like got them all over the floor. I was like, and like I didn't think anything of it at the time, but my
Just
mom was
ruined.
like, "You gotta pick all this up," and I was like,
Oh, I
"Oh
bet we
my gosh."
didn't. Which I feel bad for, but like in the moment as a kid, you don't think
Oh
about
yeah,
that.
no, I don't resent anybody for it now, obviously.
The one thing I remember when we were playing 2K one time, we were playing 2K,
Hmm.
and the whole game I shot full court shots every time I got the
Uh
ball.
huh.
And you're like, Lennon, stop.
Yeah, I'm just like, play the game
Man, but
right,
we had
dude.
so much fun. Like, we would take Caden's phone and go take like 10,000 photos in the
Yes,
bathroom.
I remember that.
And it would be like 3 o'clock in the morning,
Oh,
and
and
everything was so funny.
yes, that's how it is anytime though. Like three a.m. Like you could say the most random thing, and I would just die
Oh,
laughing.
yeah. Those were the funnest days. I
Remember-
remember just splashing mustard all over Caden's freaking face. I think that made a freaking mess.
Yeah, I think you ruined mustard for him. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, he already hated mustard, so that's why I
Yeah.
grabbed one of your, like a paper
Oh,
plate,
I remember
and
that
I
he
poured
hated it.
mustard
I
all over
remember.
it, and I slapped it in his face.
I remember like at school we would like mess with him and like act
He
like
was
we're
like
gonna.
scared of mustard.
Dude, yeah, it was crazy. I want like, is he still like that, or do you know?
I don't
Or-
know. I bet you he's not. He's not as bad anymore.
He probably just doesn't like it.
He maybe still has nightmares about mustard every once in a while. Who knows? Man, dude, those days were so freaking fun. And it was like a 24-hour sleepover too.
Yeah, no, like we got no sleep at all.
No sleep,
And then we went to church the next morning.
Oh, we would go. We would be menaces all night and go
Yeah.
worship God the next morning.
It was crazy. Those were fun times. I kind of miss those sometimes.
Oh, dude, it sucks that we'll never be that young again.
Yeah, I know. And like the biggest mistake like I made growing up is like wishing I got older. Because
Yeah,
now
for sure.
I'm like, man, I've rushed through all my years, and now look at like my senior year of high school. Like I didn't have any. Well, I had fun, but like I didn't go to prom. I didn't.
Prom sucked. You didn't miss
Yeah.
out anything.
That's what I hear from everybody. But like still, like you get to
Insert
say,
the
like,
clip of my clip at prom. There's a clip,
uh-huh.
and I show Anahi. It's like me and Annie. I'm like, whoa! And then I turn it around, and it's just no one's there.
That's crazy.
It freaking sucked.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like you still like want to cherish those memories. Still.
Oh yeah,
like,
for sure.
Like yeah, I didn't go to prom. I didn't really hang out with a bunch of people. Like kind of quarantine kind of screwed me up. Yeah,
generation.
it sucked for sure.
I don't know, but because it sucked. But our junior year, we got to pass a whole semester without
And
doing work.
That's kind of where I'm struggling right now, like with college, because I've had to retake algebra, like college algebra, because
No, okay.
like I had algebra the junior year in high school, and
We didn't have to
like,
do class.
exactly, and my teacher she like left after winter break already, so we had a long-term sub who didn't want to be there,
Yeah,
and like we
that's
cheated
the
on
worst.
everything, and like I didn't learn a single thing, and now like I'm like, man, I wish quarantine didn't happen. So
I would
could,
say though,
like, learn
algebra
this.
is easy if it's multiple choice,
Oh yeah, for
because
sure.
all you got to
Yeah.
do is just plug in the answer
Mhm.
into the equation, and you'll get it every time.
But that's not how it is in college. You have to
Yeah.
actually like figure it out and stuff. Like
Yeah,
I'm not a math person. I'll just say that right now. I like science more, and I like history more. I like
Yeah.
learning how things came to be, why the body works this way, stuff like that.
Yeah, I've always been a math guy. Like I was always wicked in math, and then, like good at math, good at English, terrible at science.
Oh,
I hated science, dude. Science fucking sucks.
I just like learning about all that kind of stuff. I don't know why, but like chemistry is a little different. I don't like
I hate
chemistry.
chemistry
too
was
much.
so hard. Did you have Miss Dirks?
I did not think.
My brother had Miss Dirks, and he was in trouble like every freaking day.
Oh, probably because you like your last name was tied to his. I'm just
Well,
kidding.
I was actually kind of good in that class. Right around my because I was bad for a lot of years. I was
Mhm.
always, which I look back on it, I was the class clown
Mhm.
in some aspects. but I bet you I pissed off half the kids who are just trying to go
The
learn
ones that are
every
trying
day.
to learn, yeah, I get what you're saying.
And that's why my senior year, and junior year, I grew a lot more. But
Yeah.
dude, we didn't have to go to our school at art, and then I went to school for like 2 weeks my senior year.
Yeah, that's how I know. Like, that's how a lot of people were that I know. Like, I kind of fell off with a lot of people just because like they didn't go to school anymore.
I
And
worked
like,
every day.
yeah, so like I knew people who would just work every day and like they would just do all their stuff online. It was
Yep.
kind of crazy. Like,
We got screwed. I mean, we missed out on a lot of experiences, but at least we got to have a graduation. The class above us didn't get to have a graduation.
that was
And
still crazy that it rained like 5 minutes after our graduation.
that is crazy. We had to wait in those freaking buses too. That shit
Oh yeah,
sucked,
that was
dude.
awful.
That shit sucked. You're just waiting to graduate, having to wait in a freaking bus.
Or the locker room or wherever.
Yeah. I remember, I'll bleep out his name just in case. But I know he won't care because he'll know. If he hears this, he knows I'm talking about him. But one time, Brandon was hitting his vape
Oh god.
in the bathroom, and a teacher walked in
The day of graduation.
the day of graduation. And and I was in there, like, peeing, like, I was peeing, and he's peeing next to me, just ripping his vape. And the teacher just walks in, dude. And then just kind of looks at us, and luckily he just didn't say anything, just left. We just walked out.
I mean, because at that point, what can you do? Like, you're doing that for like your own ego at that point. Like, just like,
I just let it go.
yeah.
Vaping, dude, that was such a silly thing.
I'm glad I used to do it a lot. Like my junior year, like sophomore and junior year, I was
Yeah, same.
pretty bad at it.
I haven't hit a vape in like 3 years.
Yeah, that's kind of how I am too. Like, I'm glad I've grown from that. Like, there's some people I still see them like doing that, and
It's crazy.
I'm like, dude, I'm not trying to like be your parent or anything like that, but I just kind of want to tell you my experience. Like, please don't do that. It's gonna save you in the long run.
It's so silly.
Like,
I'll
yeah.
just tell anybody who's vapes. It's just silly. I mean, I think it doesn't get you anywhere. It's not. I think alcohol is different. I think weed's even different. It's because at least it's a feeling. It's an end goal. It's a.
Yeah.
It's a. It's a high. It's a drunk.
Just just like
Versus
everything else.
You're just hitting it to get a head rush for 30 seconds,
and
and then you hit it over and over to get that head rush.
and then you're screwing up your lungs while you're doing it.
and
Inhaling.
who knows what's in it?
Yeah.
Our whole grade was addicted to that shit. I sold Puff Bars too. I made so much money.
That's crazy. Yeah, I'm glad I'm out of that era for sure. Like,
I would guess if I hit a vape once, I'd probably be addicted again.
Yeah, I hope I don't ever run into that experience.
When you think
again.
about it, it sounds like when you're like, oh, it would be kind of nice.
But then you remember
it's like
everything
50-50.
else
It's
with
like
it.
50-50.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, just one more head rush. And you're like, but, dude, I would do it, and then it would kind of make me have to poop every time I got a head rush.
I've never had that experience, but like, I would say like, whenever like I stopped vaping and stuff like that, like for a good month, I was like pissed off at everyone. Because like,
that
I
makes
mean,
sense.
quitting cold turkey on anything, even just caffeine, is pretty bad.
Oh, yeah, for
'Cause
sure.
caffeine's very addictive if you don't know that.
Oh, it's extremely addictive. I'm addicted to caffeine.
I'm
bad.
addicted to caffeine. My pre-workout has like 400 milligrams of caffeine. Plus, I drink an energy drink throughout the day.
Yeah. You don't drink coffee?
I drink coffee sometimes.
That's
I
great.
just,
No one our age drinks coffee. Like, I drink coffee, and I've
Mhm.
never met anybody else who drinks coffee.
I
work
like the energy I get from natural caffeine.
Yep.
Honestly,
Because I work from home every day, too, so I think
Uh-huh.
that's where it's a little bit different, to where, like,
Yeah.
I wake up, make myself a cup of coffee, start work.
my parents drink decaf, so that's all we have at the house.
Oh, that's crazy
So,
they drink decaf. What's the point, then? They just like the taste?
I guess so. Like my dad he just likes the taste, and that's how he starts his morning every day, I guess. But like,
I wake up craving a cup of coffee sometimes. Like, I wake up craving. I'm like, I can't. Like, I get out of bed, I'm like, first thing I do is go make
so
a
are
cup of
you a
coffee.
hot or iced coffee?
Hot.
Okay.
I don't even go to Starbucks anymore, because
I mean, I like Starbucks, but at the same time, like, I'm not like I don't want to spend like $8 on a cup of coffee.
I can buy for $20 a 32 pack of coffee Keurigs,
Mhm.
which is, let's say, $1 per cup.
Yeah.
And then a thing of creamer for $5. Let's say $1, it's a $2 coffee, and that's way inflation. So you save $5
yeah.
every day. I used to buy coffee all the time from Starbucks, and now I'm just like, that's so freaking silly. Even I've been a lot better at eating at home too.
Yeah, I've been meal prepping a lot and stuff like that. Like, people think like meal prepping is the hardest thing to do. It is not.
No.
It really is not. Like, if you have an air fryer, you can cook your chicken in that.
Yep.
And it's way faster than cooking it in an oven, for sure.
Cooking on the stove's not hard. It's just if you cook it on the
I
stove.
don't want to make a mess. That's the only thing for
True.
me.
I feel you.
Because
Because
you
if
have
you put
to
in the air pot, there's or the air
air fryer.
air fryer. There's no mess. You just like like chicken and rice kind of.
Chicken and rice, and then I'll do ground beef sometimes too. 97.
Ground beef's so good.
Yeah, I love ground beef.
Ground beef and rice is better than chicken and rice.
Sometimes like
Put a little egg in there. I made some.
oh, dude.
That's what I used to make like a huge thing. You just eat that during the week. Ground beef, rice, and egg. Put a little soy sauce in there.
Yeah, sometimes like
That dog eat.
sometimes I'll like I don't know what I do to it whenever I cook it, but it just the ground beef tastes horrible. Whatever I add to it just makes it taste worse.
What do you add to it?
Well, like sometimes like when I put Slap Your Mama seasoning on it, that stuff is great.
Oh yeah.
Like, have you ever had that
Slap
stuff?
your mama's good.
So like I ran out of that and I tried some other spice. I can't remember what. I think it's called like aw shit or something like that. I don't know if you've seen that before.
Did you like it spicy?
It's literally called all shit, like AW shit.
Did you say that when you bit into it? You're
No.
like, oh
It is
shit.
it is not that hot.
I can't handle hot at all, dude. I can't even eat like a bag of Cheetos.
Dang. I love hot stuff. That's my thing. Like
Is that a Russian thing at all?
I don't think they like spicy stuff.
Dude,
honestly.
Russians like hot stuff. Do Russians like spicy food?
I don't think
No.
they do.
Bruh. Why? What's wrong with my Google stuff? Okay. Yes and no. To a Russian, spicy means something else. It does not mean Latin with chilies. Chilies do not grow in Russia. There is no chili in Russian food. Russian food is never spicy hot in the way. However, many Russians love such flavorings as onion, garlic, horseradish, mustard, and even pepper. Even though pepper is imported, when you have enough ingredients in a dish, it's spicy in some way.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. So do you think any aspects of your life you're like, that's because I'm Russian?
I don't know. Like
Maybe your genetics a little bit?
some stuff like with my genetics, I think
You got some Ivan Drago in you?
Yeah, pretty much. Like people are like, "Oh, it's that Russian strength and stuff like that," and I'm like, maybe if you just worked hard too.
Yeah, but you haven't lived in Russia in 20
Exactly.
years.
Yeah. Like if I had lived there and then moved, like I'd probably have some cultural
Well, you
aspects
did live
to
there
it.
for a little bit, right?
Well, I was 2 and I was like in
So
the adoption.
this is a good thing to talk about for some people who don't know, because I know a little bit, but it's been so freaking long.
Mhm.
So you were 2 when you were adopted
Mhm.
to your mom and dad.
Yeah.
So do you know if they like went on a website? Like, how did they find you?
I believe they found me on a website.
That's crazy, huh?
Um,
That's crazy. What
yeah,
if somebody else clicked that link instead and you'd be living in like
it's
Wichita
yeah,
Falls.
It's crazy to think about, honestly.
you got
like,
stuck in Midland? That kind of sucks.
It sucks, but I'm definitely glad I have the parents I have.
Oh yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
Your mom too is. Your mom was killer. I'm not saying anything about your dad, but
Oh yeah, no, my mom
Your
loves
mom's killer.
everybody. She's great.
I mean, she never yelled at us when we were being little shits at your house.
Oh yeah, she's short tempered with me, but everybody else she can stay calm with.
And I remember one time, I think this might have been the same time you had your baseball cards out. You had like 10 Nolan Ryan cards. I was like, I don't have a Nolan Ryan card. And your mom made you give me a Nolan
Yeah.
Ryan card.
Yeah.
She's like, give him one, Sasha. You have 10 of them. Yes. I still have that card,
I
dude.
wonder
And
how much those are worth. Probably not.
probably not that much, but I bet you, $5 card is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Which I have so many football cards, it's crazy.
I used to be like collecting a lot of cards and
When we were in like 4th grade, it was crazy.
oh
That's
yeah,
when it was in its
me,
prime.
you, and Caden would collect ththose like crazy.
Dude.
And like I was always like, oh, I need to get more, and then like now I'm like, I understand why my parents didn't get me more cards.
Yeah,
'cause
100%. feel like-
the $60 for a box of cards is crazy.
It sucks how card culture changed.
Yeah.
Now it's like $1,000 boxes, and we used to buy
Mhm.
like $50 boxes, and now it's crazy. So back to getting adopted. Growing up, did you ever have like fights with your mom, where it was like, or your family, you're like, you're not my real like parents? Like, did you ever feel that way in a way, or was it?
No, because like when I was 2, like that was I don't even have a memory of Russia, so like I don't remember anything from it or
Yeah.
anything like that. So like they're all I knew.
Mhm.
So like I treat them as if
Yeah, for
my
sure.
mom like
And they treat you the
Yeah.
same,
Mhm.
100%. So you never really like had like you always felt normal in a way.
yeah. I mean when
Not
people
that you're abnormal.
no yeah I get what you're saying. Like I never really felt like I was adopted or anything like
It
that.
must be the way your parents treated you.
Yeah, I
Truly.
mean they just treated me like I was their biological kid, really. So
Yeah.
and every day I'm grateful for that. So
Yeah, for sure. What if you went to like a different place? That'd be crazy.
yeah, it's weird to think about, honestly, like how God just lines things up like that.
Yeah, for sure. And it's crazy because you're like, what if this happened? But there is no what if
Exactly.
because it was supposed to happen the way it happened.
That's the only. It was a canon of it. No.
Yeah, it was a canon of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, you're Russian. That's so crazy.
Yeah, and like
It's almost cool, if anything. It's like a flex that you were adopted.
Yeah, like now I look at it like, yeah, it is a flex, but like
Because
in
it's so.
June, yeah,
Do you ever get those moments to where like you tell somebody you're adopted?
like some people will kind of giggle, and I'll giggle with them because I understand this type of humor they're coming from, and they can't like. It's hard for them to imagine something like that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I don't put it against them.
Yeah.
For like laughing or making a joke, because I've grown to the point where like I joke with them.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's the same thing about like if you grow up with your friend and your friend's adopted, you're gonna make jokes about them being adopted. That's just
Oh yeah, for sure.
that's just because it is.
I've definitely had some people who like kind of take it overboard. Like there was someone in junior high who was saying like my parents only wanted me for the tax money or something like that, and I was like, at the time that pissed me off. Like I wanted to.
Yeah, for sure.
I wanted to beat him up, but now I just kind of look at it like you don't know me like that.
No,
so,
yeah, for sure. And it's all dumb shit talking middle
Yeah.
school. You know how that shit goes.
Mhm.
But that's good. You've never felt like any sort of way. Have you ever? Oh, this is what I was gonna ask earlier when I lost my train of thought. Have you ever talked to your birth parents, or you know anything about them?
Only thing I really know about my birth parents is that they were a little too young to have me and like raise a kid. And
Do you know how old they were?
I want to say in their teens.
Okay.
Um,
Had some vodka and fucked.
probably, dude. Like, who knows? But
That's crazy. I wonder if they like fucked in front of a bear or something.
I try not to think about that, but
Yeah, true. You don't want to think about your parents fucking.
yeah,
That's so wild.
yeah. No, that's all I really know is they were kind of a little too young to like raise a kid.
You never had like a conversation with them?
No, not really. That's something I want to do, but at the same time, like I just kind of
Do you think
Like-
that's something that would bug your parents? Or
no.
they would? That's something they would want for you as well.
They'd probably encourage it if anything. I've had conversations with them where they want to go back
Yeah.
to Russia, and
That'd be so cool to go to Russia. Do
Yeah.
you know what town you're from in Russia?
It was in Tomsk, so that's like in Siberia, like
Okay.
where they send out like the
Tom
prisoners.
NKS or the same?
Tomsk, Russia.
Tanks, Russia. All right.
No, TOMSK.
Dude, why is it? Oh, map. I was like, why is it showing me a map instead of photos of the freaking place?
Yeah, I don't.
Dude, that place is pretty cool.
It's more on like the Asian side of Russia, if that makes sense. Like,
Okay.
Because there's parts of Russia that's in Europe, and then there's.
Have you
most
done
of
like
it is in
a
Asia.
23andMe or Ancestry or anything?
I want to do something like that.
I think
but-
you can buy like a kit for like $150. That'd be real
Mhm.
cool to do to see. It'd be real cool.
to learn about my lineage and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's crazy. You never really, cause like your grandparents,
Yeah.
you have no clue like anything about your grandparents.
Mm-mm. I don't know. I don't know much about it. Like.
Cause like your grandparents could almost fought in World War II under Stalin.
Mm-hmm.
You never even know
That's
that.
crazy to think about, honestly.
Like odds or not, they probably did.
Mm-hmm.
Cause it was it's pretty cool. My or it would have been your great grandpa. Sorry, not your grandpa.
Yeah.
My grandpa's a war baby
Well, he would have fought in the Cold, or like, they would have been in the Cold War either way.
against America. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy to think about.
And like, it's crazy because like, I'm pretty sure like, it wasn't fairly recent. Like, I was pretty young whenever it happened, but I think like Vladimir Putin like declared some sort of law that like you can't adopt out of Russia anymore or something like that. So like,
Wow, you got lucky.
that's what I'm saying.
You got
like,
lucky, fool.
Yeah.
Let's look that up. That's crazy.
Can you adopt out of Russia?
Not possible between Russia and the United States.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy, fool.
Yeah, I didn't think it was. Like, I thought tensions were pretty high, especially after like the
2013.
Obama administration. I think. Like,
So it was in
tensions-
2013.
Yep. Obama.
What year would you have gotten adopted? Like 04, 05?
I was adopted in 05.
Nice. That's crazy.
So what was that? 7 years after? No.
Do you
Not
ever
7,
talk to
that's-
somebody and you're like, I'm adopted? They're like, no way.
Oh yeah, all the time. People don't believe that I'm from Russia at all, which is understandable because I
You don't
have
have
an
an
American
accent,
accent, everything. Like, I could say it's my red hair, but there's redheaded people here too. So like,
Yeah, the red hair obviously is Russian when you know about it.
oh yeah, for sure. Like if you dive,
Well, you wouldn't
deeper
have known
into
that
it,
if you don't.
And I tell them like, oh, my biological name is Alexander, and Sasha's a nickname for Alex, and that's where I get it from. And they're like, you're just making that up. Like my own youth pastor told me that. He was
Really?
like, he's like, there's no way that happened. I was like, I promise it.
Sasha comes from Alexander?
Well, it's a nickname for Alex.
Wow, that's crazy.
So there's more women named Sasha, but it's
Yeah, because Sasha, now that you say that, that makes sense. Because Sasha's a cool name, though.
yeah, no, I like going by that. Honestly,
Imagine going
more
by
than-
Alexander.
I could not. That's too nerdy for me.
Yeah, you wouldn't be benching 300 right now if you went by Alexander. We've been going for an hour and a half. Do you have anything else you want to talk about? Obviously, guys, down below will be Sasha's TikTok, his
TikTok.
Instagram. Give it a follow.
For sure.
Post dope weight content. Do you ever want to do like YouTube videos?
Pretty soon, once I get a mic and stuff, I want to do YouTube videos. That way I can like kind of talk to the camera in between sets and stuff
If
like
you
that.
did like vlogs
Mhm.
with your workout routine, like you waking up, driving to the gym,
Mhm.
interacting at the gym, another thing you do is like have people do your workouts.
Yeah, that's true.
Like for example, like if you had me go work out with you and do your workout,
Yeah.
I would die.
Yeah.
Like I would literally die, and it'd be funny because I would like doing stuff like that, and then same thing where like you go do a guy's workout.
Yeah.
Who's even more ridiculous, and then you go do like a workout with this extreme runner, and you can branch into different aspects
Yeah,
of
no, I get
fitness
what
and all
you're
that.
Yeah, that could definitely like grow my account for sure. 'Cause, like people always
Your
wanna
account's
see-
already pretty. I mean, how many followers do you got? Do you know?
I'm almost at 1,500 on Instagram.
That's
I'm at about
crazy.
1,500 on TikTok.
Yeah, I had 23 subscribers. And I was fucking so happy.
Well, no, like every little follow I get, I'm still like, oh dang, I'm growing still.
Yeah,
stuff
for
like
sure,
that.
for sure.
So like even if my video reaches like 100 likes, I'm like, oh, this did numbers, this and that, when it really didn't. But in my opinion, like that's something that
What was like the most views you've gotten on a video?
I've gotten. Let me see. I've gotten 13K views on a video.
That's wild. I bet that made you feel good, huh?
It did.
That's
I think
badass.
it got like 800 likes.
Can I see the video?
Yeah.
I probably have seen it.
It's pinned on my profile too. So it's this one.
Dude, that's wild, bro.
Yeah, that was start of
That's
start of
wild.
college actually. And that's not even recent. That's from like a year ago.
I'll put. Or I don't know if I'll be able to put because it's on Instagram.
But yeah, it's like the second pinned video on my Instagram. So like they can see it either.
That
way.
first video view is fucking wild, dude.
Yeah.
Flex for the camera. Your arms are fucking bigger than my head. That's sick, dude. I would have to say, and I mean this in the most sincere way possible, so if it comes out wrong, I'm so proud of you. Not in the sense of like looking down on you, proud of you.
No, yeah, I get
In
what
the
you're
sense
saying.
of seeing what you've done, it's inspiring, and I bet you a bunch of people can relate to that.
Mhm.
And seeing you grind on social media makes me want to grind on social
Yeah.
media. 100%. I appreciate you coming on the podcast. 100%. I've had a great time chatting with you, talking to you, and
Yeah, it was a fun hour and a half for sure.
that it went by pretty fast.
Yeah, it's crazy how time flies whenever you're just
You're talking, having a
fun.
good time. Yeah, I really appreciate it coming on. I'll probably have you on again.
Yeah, I'd love
Hopefully
to.
this
for sure.
blows up and you can come on like
regularly.
all the time.
I wouldn't mind doing that.
And then I'm
for
gonna have to
sure.
get you like 2 chairs to sit on one day because you're gonna be so big. But all right, thank y'all for checking out. I'll be back with another podcast next week. Shout out to Sasha for coming on. Follow all his links down below if y'all aren't already following them. Thank you for coming on, Sasha. I really appreciate
Yes,
it.
sir.
And I'm out. Peace out.